Welcome back, Legends. Your support is my power. Don't forget to subscribe.
I woke up this morning to a frantic pounding on my front door, like someone was trying to break it down. And my phone was blowing up with 132 missed calls and a flood of texts from my parents and brother, pleading with me to stop whatever I'd set in motion. But let me slow down and take you back, because this story is a wild ride, and even I didn't see the twist coming. My name's Ethan, and until about a month ago, I thought I had a handle on how messed up families could get. Turns out I was clueless. It all kicked off about a year and a half ago. I was 31, ready to settle down with my girlfriend of 3 years, Claire. She was sharp, with a quick wit and a smile that could light up any room. We'd picked out a ring together, planned a low-key wedding for early fall at a cozy winery just outside town. Simple, intimate, just our closest friends and family. Then my younger brother, Ryan, rolled back into town after finishing his master's degree in finance. Ryan's always been the golden boy in our family. 2 years younger than me, but somehow always the one my parents pinned their hopes on. Better grades, flashier internships, always the star of the show. Don't get me wrong, I cared about him. Or at least I did back then. But growing up in his shadow got old fast, especially when my mom would introduce me as our other son, while rattling off Ryan's latest accomplishments like a proud press release. Claire and Ryan clicked right away, which I thought was great at first. I wanted my fiancée to get along with my family. She'd laugh at his stories about his time in Chicago, his big plans to launch his own investment firm. She'd pepper him with questions about stock markets, venture capital, stuff I honestly didn't care much about. I'd nod along, happy they were bonding. But then I started noticing how often she brought him up. Ryan thinks we should diversify our savings. Ryan says the economy's about to tank. Ryan this, Ryan that. I brushed it off. I trusted her. I trusted him. Big mistake. 2 weeks before our wedding, Claire called me while I was at work. Her voice was shaky, trying too hard to sound upbeat. "Ethan, can we meet up? We need to talk." My gut twisted, but I told myself it was probably something small, like a fight with her mom over the guest list. We met at the diner where we'd had our first date, a brutal choice in hindsight. She could barely meet my eyes. "I can't go through with the wedding," she said, her voice cracking. I laughed, not because it was funny, but because my brain couldn't process it. "What, Claire, if this is about the catering or something?" "It's not the catering," she cut me off, tears spilling over. "I'm in love with someone else." With Ryan, the world stopped. I just sat there staring at her, feeling like I was watching a movie about someone else's life. "How long?" I asked, my voice flat. She hesitated. "A few months. A few months." While I was stressing over table settings and vows, my brother and my fiancé were sneaking around behind my back. I didn't yell or make a scene. I just dropped a 10 on the table and walked out. Something about the quiet of that moment felt louder than any screaming match could have been. Here's where it gets uglier. When I told my parents, they didn't exactly rally to my side. My mom sipped her tea and said, "Well, maybe this is for the best, Ethan. You and Claire didn't seem like a perfect match." My dad, always the practical one, nodded. "Ryan's more her type, you know, ambitious, driven. You've got to admit that." I stared at them across their spotless dining room table, the same one where Ryan and I used to eat cereal as kids, where they'd praise his straight A's and ask why I couldn't keep up. "Are you serious?" I said. "My brother stole my fiancé and you're acting like it's no big deal?" My mom sighed like I was being dramatic. "People fall in love, Ethan. It's not like anyone planned this." 3 months, I said. "They were together for 3 months behind my back." My dad shrugged. "Better now than after the wedding." Then Ryan walked in looking like a kid caught sneaking out. "Ethan, man, I'm so sorry," he started. I cut him off. "Sorry for what? For lying to me? For stealing my fiancé?" He flinched but didn't back down. "We didn't mean for this to happen. We tried to fight it." "For 3 months," I said. "You tried real hard, huh?" Then came the kicker. He cleared his throat and said, "Look, since the venue's already booked, we were thinking maybe we could use it. Claire loves that winery and it's all paid for." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "You want my wedding?" My mom chimed in, all practical. "It's just logical, Ethan. The deposits are non-refundable. We're out 15 grand if we cancel." "Our money," my dad added, like that was the real issue. Not my life falling apart, but their checkbook. I walked out that day, didn't slam the door or yell, just left. Sometimes silence says more than words ever could. 2 weeks later, I sat in my apartment, scrolling through social media as Ryan and Claire tied the knot at my winery, with my guest list, my flowers, my everything. My parents posted glowing updates, calling it the perfect day. I spent it nursing a bottle of whiskey, alone, angrier than I'd ever been. The months after were brutal. I buried myself in work, took on extra coding projects, anything to keep my mind off it. Friends tried to check in, but what do you say? "Yeah, my brother married my ex and my parents threw them a party." People don't know how to handle that kind of mess. Ryan called a few times. I let it go to voicemail. Claire sent an email, all heartfelt and apologetic, saying she hoped I'd forgive her someday. I deleted it halfway through. My parents, though, they acted like nothing was wrong. "Ryan's so happy," my mom would say. "Why can't you be happy for him?" "Because I'm not a robot, that's why." Then came the invitation. Fancy embossed cardstock, gold foil, the works. My parents were throwing a big celebration of love for Ryan and Claire since their quickie winery wedding wasn't splashy enough. I stared at that invite for days, letting it sit on my counter like a grenade. My mom called, her voice all sugar. "Ethan, it would mean so much to Ryan if you were there." "Would it?" I shot back. "Or would it mean something to you?" she sighed. "He's your brother, family's family. Funny how that only applies when it's convenient for you." The calls kept coming, each one more insistent. My dad got on the phone using his "I'm disappointed in you" tone. "Ethan, grow up. Ryan messed up, but he's sorry. They're married now. Be a man and move on." "Be a man," I repeated. "You mean smile and pretend my brother didn't stab me in the back?" He didn't miss a beat. "If you can't let this go, maybe you're not cut out to be part of this family." I almost didn't go to the celebration. I had a polite no ready to send. But something, maybe curiosity, maybe just wanting to see how far they'd take this, made me show up. The venue was stunning, some sprawling estate with manicured lawns that screamed money. Ryan had clearly climbed the corporate ladder fast. Claire looked like a movie star in a gown that cost more than my car. Ryan was all charm and perfect hair, like he'd stepped out of a cologne ad. And me. I was the awkward plus one nobody wanted to talk to, stuck in the back row, watching my brother and my ex play happy couple. The ceremony was picture perfect. Claire teared up during her vows. Ryan's voice broke as he promised to love her forever. My parents sat front and center, beaming like this was their proudest moment. I made it through the speeches, where my dad stood up and gave a toast about love conquering all, about how Ryan had found his soulmate. Not one mention of me. Not one nod to the fact that this whole fairy tale was built on my broken life. I slipped out during the first dance, while they swayed to some sappy song, my parents dabbing their eyes like it was Oscar-worthy. I drove home in silence, wondering why I'd even bothered to show up. I might have left it there, built a new life without them, let them have their perfect little world. But they wouldn't let it go. The calls started again around the holidays. Thanksgiving was lonely. Without me, Christmas would be weird if I didn't show. My mom even said I was tearing the family apart by holding a grudge, my grudge. Like I was the bad guy for not getting over it. Ryan left voicemails, long ones, begging for forgiveness, saying he missed his brother, that Claire felt awful and just wanted us to be a family again. The nerve of it blew my mind. Then came the ambush. I got home from work one evening to find my parents and Ryan sitting in my living room. They'd used the spare key I gave them for emergencies to let themselves in. "We need to talk," my dad said, looking way too comfortable on my couch. "Get out," I said. My mom stood up, all business. "Ethan, this has gone on long enough. You're acting like a child." "I'm acting like someone whose family screwed him over." Ryan tried to play peacemaker. "Ethan, just hear us out. 5 minutes." I didn't budge. "Out now." My mom's voice turned icy the way it always did when she was done negotiating. "You're 31, Ethan. Stop sulking. Your brother fell in love. It's not a crime." "He lied to me for months," I said. "You all did," Ryan snapped. "I'm done feeling like the villain here. I love Claire. She loves me. I'm sorry it hurt you, but you need to get over it. You were never right for her anyway." The room went quiet. Even my parents looked stunned. "What did you just say?" I asked. Ryan doubled down. "Claire's brilliant, Ethan. She's going places, big career, big dreams. You're comfortable. You like your quiet life, your coding job, your sports bars. She needed more, someone who could keep up with her." I saw red. I'm not a fighter, but I was half a second from swinging when my dad stepped in. "That's enough," he barked. "Ethan, this is what I'm talking about. This anger, this refusal to move on, it's toxic. Claire's family now, Ryan's happy. We're all happy. The only one miserable is you, and that's on you." I looked at them, my parents, my brother, the people who were supposed to have my back, and something broke inside me. "You're right," I said, my voice low. "I'm making a choice. I'm choosing not to pretend this is okay. I'm choosing not to act like my feelings don't matter. I'm choosing to walk away from a family that treats me like an afterthought." My mom tried to interrupt, but I held up a hand. "You've made it clear where I stand. Second best. Always have been, so why don't you make it official?" A month later, they did. I was grabbing lunch when my doorbell rang. My dad stood there holding an envelope, looking like he was delivering a death sentence. "Ethan," he said, handing it over. "This is what you wanted." Inside was a formal letter typed on his law firm's letterhead stating that Ethan Carter was no longer considered a member of the Carter family. All financial support cut off, all inheritance rights revoked, all ties severed. Both parents' signatures were at the bottom, neat and final. I read it twice, then looked at him. "You actually went through with it," he nodded, stone-faced. "You left us no choice." "I left you no choice," I laughed, bitter, "by being hurt that my brother stole my fiancée. By not smiling through it." My mom was in the car, staring out the window, avoiding my eyes. Ryan wasn't there, even show up for this. "This is what you want?" I asked. My dad didn't blink. "This is what you chose." I folded the letter and handed it back. No, Dad, this is what you chose. I'm just done pretending it's okay. He walked away, but not before turning back to say, Ryan's always been the better son. We should have done this years ago. That was a month ago. Then came this morning. The banging on my door started at 5:30 a.m., loud enough to wake the dead. My phone was a missed calls, 78 voicemails, 141 texts, all from my parents and Ryan. The messages were desperate. Ethan, call me back now. Please stop whatever you're doing. We can fix this, just talk to us. My dad's voicemails were unhinged, his voice shaking. Son, whatever you're planning, we can work it out. Just call, my mom was sobbing. Ethan, we messed up, please stop this. Ryan's were the worst, barely coherent. I'm sorry, man, whatever they're offering you, we'll match it. Just don't do this. I made coffee before opening the door, letting them sweat it out. When I finally let them in, they looked like they'd been through a storm, clothes rumpled, eyes red, my mom's mascara streaked. Thank God, my dad gasped. We need to talk. Do we? I said, sipping my coffee. Last I checked, you disowned me. My mom grabbed my arm. What did you tell them? Tell who? Don't play games, Ryan snapped, pacing like a caged animal. The Post, the Tribune, whoever you're working with. What did you give them? I blinked. I have no idea what you're talking about. My dad's voice rose. The story, Ethan, the exposé about my firm, about the Mitchell case. My stomach dropped. The Mitchell case, I knew that name too well. What about it? I asked. My dad sank onto my couch, looking older than I'd ever seen him. They know everything. The suppressed evidence, the bribed witnesses, the smear campaign. 20 years ago, my dad's law firm had defended Thomas Mitchell, a big-shot CEO who'd killed a pedestrian while driving drunk. It should have been a slam-dunk case. Mitchell was 3 times the legal limit, ran a stop sign, hit a young father crossing the street. But my dad's firm got him off. I was just a kid, but I remembered the late-night calls, the hushed arguments, the way my dad's career skyrocketed after. Later, as an adult, I dug into it. His firm had buried toxicology reports, paid off a key witness, and dragged the victim's name through the mud. Mitchell walked free. The victim's family got nothing. Who's they? I asked. The newspapers, Ryan said, still pacing. They got documents, recordings, even statements from people we paid off back then, someone with access to Dad's files. They all stared at me. You think I did this? I said, almost laughing. You're the only one who knew, my dad said quietly. The only one with a motive. I shook my head. You think I've been sitting here plotting to take you down? I didn't even know there was a story until you showed up. Ryan stopped pacing. Then who? He froze, his face going pale. Oh no. It's Claire. We all turned to him. Claire knows, he said, his voice barely a whisper. I told her about the Mitchell case after we got married. She was asking about Dad's big wins, how he built the firm. I thought she'd be impressed. My dad's jaw dropped. You told her what? Ryan looked like he might be sick. I didn't think she'd do anything with it. I thought it was just talk. Where's Claire now? I asked. Boston, Ryan said. She started a new job at a consulting firm 2 months ago. And when did the papers get this information? I asked. My dad answered, his voice hollow. About 2 months ago. It hit us all at once. Claire, she'd played them. Played all of us. Ryan pulled out his phone, hands shaking, and called her, putting it on speaker. She answered after a few rings, her voice all business. Ryan, I'm swamped with meetings today. What's up? The story, Ryan said. The one about Dad's firm, about Mitchell. Silence. Then I don't know what you mean. But her tone had shifted, guarded like she was choosing every word carefully. The Tribune called, Ryan said. They have evidence. Documents, recordings, everything. Someone gave it to them. That's awful, she said, too smooth. Who would do that? Someone who knew the details, my dad cut in. Someone we trusted. Claire's voice turned sharp. Are you accusing me, Ryan? Because if you're suggesting I'd betray your family, we've got bigger issues than some newspaper article. She was good, turning it back on him, making him doubt himself. I couldn't take it. I grabbed the phone. Claire, it's Ethan. Let's cut the act. You did this, didn't you? Another silence, then a cold laugh. Ethan, should have known you'd be stirring the pot. Still mad you lost me to the better brother. Lost you, I said. You mean when you used me to get to my family's secrets? She didn't miss a beat. You were never enough for me, Ethan. You know that. Ryan was the better play, more access, more leverage. And honestly, more fun. Ryan looked like he'd been punched. You used me, he said. I upgraded, she replied, her voice like ice. But let's be clear, this was never about love. It was about justice. For Daniel Mitchell. My dad's face went white. Daniel Mitchell, he whispered. The man your client killed, Claire said. My uncle, hit by Thomas Mitchell while crossing the street to pick up his kid from daycare. Left behind a wife and a daughter. My cousin grew up without a father because your firm let a drunk driver walk free. The room was dead silent. You planned this, I said, the pieces falling into place. From the moment you met me. Pretty much, she said, no remorse in her voice. I researched you for months, Ethan. Knew your habits, your favorite spots. I played the perfect girlfriend, got close to your family, earned their trust. The engagement was just a step. But then Ryan came along and I saw a better opportunity. More access to your dad's files, more secrets to uncover. Ryan was shaking. Our marriage. A means to an end, she said. You gave me what I needed to bring your father's firm down, and now the world will know what he did to my family. My dad tried one last play. Claire, what do you want? Money? We can settle this. She laughed again, sharp and bitter. I want your legacy in ashes, Robert. I want Daniel Mitchell's daughter to know the truth. I want your firm to lose everything, just like my family did. She hung up, leaving us in stunned silence. Ryan was crying, my mom was staring at the floor, and my dad looked like he'd aged a decade. She played us, my mom whispered. From day one, I said. 4 years. She planned this for 4 years. The story hit the papers the next morning. Front page, bold headline. Top attorney's empire built on buried DUI death. They had it all: documents, audio of my dad coaching witnesses, even emails from the smear campaign against the victim. By lunch, 2 major clients had pulled out. By dinner, the state bar was launching an ethics probe. Ryan called me one last time, his voice broken. She took everything. No, I said. She exposed everything. There's a difference. For the first time in years, I felt free. My family wasn't who I thought they were. My dad had built his career on a lie. My mom had enabled it. Ryan had inherited their willingness to look the other way. And me. I'd spent my life chasing their approval, only to realize they'd never really seen me. Claire, for all her deception, had done one thing right. She'd torn the mask off. And now, standing in the wreckage, I could finally walk away.